So I'm back in Michigan and from sunny California. And I'm hoping to be able to put a sequence of extemporaneous talks on YouTube and probably put them under the heading of Theosophy 2012. 2012 because that's when I began the the YouTube site. Theosophy because Theo means God and Sophie means wisdom or knowledge. So this site is about knowledge of God. The site will be about God, it will be about you, and it will be about me. And the reason it will be or have information about me is because I think for those of you who visit this site, you really need to understand who I am, where I am coming from. And tonight, my name is unimportant. But tonight, I'm in Michigan. My wife's up in bed. She's got the flu. And it's 8:30 and I feel like I'm going to go to bed soon because I feel like I might be coming down with the flu. But before I go to bed, I had these thoughts I was considering regarding myself. You should know that I am a channel. I am a simple pipe that leads from the esoteric into the corporal. And what passes through me, what passes through this pipe, are not the actual words that are given to me, rather the ideas. And this passage of ideas into me began in 1990. It's quite a while ago. It was 28 years ago. And it began with my being approached while I was in the silence, in the nothingness, and being approached by an existence that did not show itself, but I could sense its presence. And this being said, well, we've been watching you for a long time, and we know that ever since you were a young man, you wanted to know the answers to questions regarding reality. What reality is, God, does God really exist? And we've watched you struggle through life. We've watched you struggle with your social phobias. And we've watched you get your education, get married, have your children. And you've led a fairly respectable life. And we feel that if you are interested, we will give you this information. Well, of course I was interested. It's something I had always sought. But I was hesitant. And I was hesitant because I was not sure where this was coming from. Whether this was coming from the good side or the bad side. And I believe I have a soul, and all my writing is about the rationality of the soul and its connection with God. And I hesitated because I did not want to do something that could jeopardize my soul. So I told this being that, and this being said, well, now keep in mind, this was not a being that I could see, I could just sense, and the being through thought, not of words, but concepts, said if you want to, if you're interested, I'll bring you to a committee that is in charge of the evolutionary development of the human species. And I thought, okay, this is kind of interesting. So I said, okay, I'd like that. And over time, I was led to this committee. Again, they were not visual creatures. It was just thoughts passing back and forth. And they again asked me if I was interested, and I said yes. And they said, well, there's a stipulation here. And the stipulation is, if we give you information, you cannot keep it to yourself. You have to share it. And I go, okay, well, that's reasonable. But I have a stipulation, and that is that this information that I share, if it is in any way negative, if it is in any way that I perceive to be evil or could do harm to our species and to individuals who hear about it, I want to be able to walk away. And they agreed. And that's when the thoughts began to come through to me, and that's when the thoughts I was receiving I put down in a book, followed by another book, by another book, by another book. And today I have on panentheismaddressing.com 27 books that I have channeled. They're all free. There's no advertisement. And I felt, from my understanding of what I received, that this was critical information that was necessary for humankind to hear. The information, simplistically, is the concept that we think about reality all wrong. In our day and age, we think, some people think there's a God, and some people think there isn't. Well, this is all about God and the existence of God and the rationality for God. But because we are immersed in the physical universe and all the input we receive through our sensory perceptions come through physical means. And so we have basically embraced the idea that all there is to reality is the physical universe. Now, there are a lot of religions that would deny this, and they would say there is the physical universe, but there is also God. And what they have done is stated that the physical universe is here and God is over here. They call it transcendence. It's a form of separation. God is separate from the physical universe. And that's a terrible concept. The reason they hold to that is because they say God is omnibenevolent, and no evil can exist in God. But they're all wrong. In the first place, it doesn't even make sense that God is over there and we are over here. Because the question becomes, if God is up to my left and Earth is down to my right, what's in between the two? And religions hold to the concept of God being the three omnis: omniscient, omnipresent, and omnipotent. Well, if God is omniscient, all-knowing, and if knowledge is power, then God is all-powerful or omnipotent. But how can God be omnipresent if God is over there and we are over here, and there's nothing in between, then God is not omnipresent. So the concept that I've been given to give to you is an old concept called panentheism, not pantheism. Pantheism is an atheist concept. It says that the physical universe is reality, and that's all there is to reality. It says there's no God, other than maybe Mother Earth. But panentheism, broken up into syllables, pan, all, in, en, in, theism, God, all in God, says that everything is in God, and our physical universe is inside God. Well, this means that if there's evil in our physical universe, if there's evil on this earth, then that evil is inside God. And what's even more scary is that if we create this evil, we are creating it inside God, and we are therefore inserting into God the evil we create. And that's who I am. I'm a channel. I've been a channel for 26 years. And I don't mean to feel sorry for myself, but to tell you the truth, it's kind of lonely. Nobody cares. Nobody wants to hear about it. Nobody wants to talk about the ideas. I mean, I've approached priests and ministers and to suggest to them that evil is in God, and they just reject out of hand. Won't even talk about it. They think it's ludicrous. But it's not ludicrous. It means we have a responsibility to ourselves, to the home in which we live, the planet, to God itself. And by the way, this brings up the concept of what is God? Where is God? What is God? Where are we? What are we? And why do we exist? And with that, I'm going to sign off. It's already been 13 minutes, and it's 3 minutes past the time that I said I would delegate to these talks. Thank you for coming. And next time, I'm going to talk about Albert Einstein and what we've gotten wrong about Albert Einstein.